telling you, the morning is the best time in the garden. It's almost a little late actually, because see that? That only brings heat in Louisiana. As soon as the sun's up over the trees in June, you better get inside. So these are the things I've learned. 10 years in Louisiana. So I wanted to film a little bit this morning. I have to go to town, which, if you're like me, going to town is the whole thing. So I am enjoying these few moments in the garden. I pulled some onions out and just want to show you guys what's going on. It's an interesting time in the garden and always fighting this grass. So let's step over the fence. Usually I have this gate open, but the dog keeps digging a hole, so let's just step over my little gate. So in the last video, when we were in this area, we were looking at the tomatoes. Lots of romas coming, and I have learned that with romas you really have to tie them up because they're gonna go crazy, and I will show you that. This one has two different tomatoes in here, but again it needs a heavy sling because these roma tomatoes are heavy and they just branch out crazy. It's crazy. Alright, so hopefully this is focused. The white onions are slower than the purple. They're doing good though. I harvested a few, and then last week, yeah, we moved these zinnias to separate places, and this is where they were started, so they're growing. Try to go slow. Some bigger onions. Those down there are pretty big. This is 2 roma tomato plants together. And also lots of tying here. One day I didn't have t-shirts, so I had to use a little orange rope, which I don't love doing. Again, hopefully it's clear. So this is my tallest, and this is just one cherry tomato plant. And it has gotten over my head here. So I'm really glad I have good support for it. I have been trimming off the bottom. Look at this. And they're so yummy. They're so yummy. So I'm really happy, especially since this was my second round of tomatoes that after I killed all my first tomatoes with the frost. So this one's close enough. That's good. I used to not really like tomatoes as much until I started growing my own. Still like a little salt though, but I'm gonna eat it. I've got some squash here. Volunteer from the compost that I had, so I don't know if it's gonna be any good. And there's one over there. Here's the peppers. They're a little stunted. They were a little root bound, but they're doing okay. Let's get a closer look at some of the peppers. Right here, there's a lovely banana pepper. And I feel like the more you pick, the more you get. I think I knocked that flower off. Oh well. Probably should have planted these a little deeper. See? These are some cayenne peppers, and this is my first time growing cayenne peppers. So that's exciting. I don't know if they're supposed to stay on until they get red, or we're gonna pick some. We'll see if they turn color. But again, just to stimulate the plant, I'm gonna pick a few. There's more flowers coming up above. Sorry, my shadow. And I should probably take a couple of the leaves off the bottom. Again, should have planted it deeper. Got one here. So let me know if I'm supposed to leave the cayenne peppers on, but there we go. And there's a little baby bell pepper over there. Little stunted plants, but they're alright. A couple of onions that are done back here. You know they're done when they fall over like that, and I don't want them to get any kind of, you know, too moist or anything. So even if they're small, this one's done. It's really small down here. I think the shade was not the best for them. Maybe the weeds. There's a few weeds here too. Here's a big one that I'm waiting on. That's a good sized one. Couple down here. Looking good. And then we have to wait for the garlic to finish, but it's starting to die back. Oh, that's the onion. The garlic is slowly starting to die back. I didn't harvest my scapes. Here's one right here that's already starting to bend over. You have to let your garlic die. It's hard to watch it go, but you want to let it finish and die. So, trying to be patient. Still need to come through and do some weeding and mulching though. Here's another Roma that needed a lot of support. It's got a lot of heavy tomatoes on it, so you need good support for Romas. This is a t-shirt. That is a heavy branch. So it comes up from here, and then it has all these tomatoes on this one side branch. So if I didn't support that, it would snap. I probably need to support it again, just so it doesn't snap here. This one too, big heavy branch. So make sure you have solid support in place for Romas, or they're just going to be all over the ground.